All right, let's come home now and talk about the Nigerian National League. Matches played this weekend, week 14 in the Southern Conference, week 9 in the Northern. So let's quickly take a look at some of the results in that one, and we'll see where it goes. Interesting results that you have on your screen. You have, we start with the Northern Conference. Zamfara playing a 2-all draw with Yobe Desert Stars. FRSC 3-0 victory over, it was a walkover actually, over FC Taraba. Kogi United slim. Well, a lot of stories. The guys in the house will take you through the reasons for the walkover and how all of those stories, 2 walkovers in that region. I think a game has not. We'll talk about all of that later on. Jigawa Golden Stars, also a walkover over Afe Babalola. We'll talk about the story of Afe Babalola as well. Kwara United 3-1 victory over Adamawa United. Kaduna United slim 1-0 victory over Mighty Jets. All of that week 9 Northern Conference. Let's quickly move over to the Southern Conference. After 14 matches, these are the results. Abia Comets 2-0 victory over My People. Aqua Starlets goalless draw with Ikorodu United. Insurance 2-0 victory over Gateway. Warri Wolves 3-0 victory over Papilo FC. Bayelsa and Go Round played goalless. AS Racines defeated Heartland, and Delta Force 1-0 over First Bank. Let me start with you. Any of those results came to you as a surprise? No away team was even in the Southern Conference. No away team was even able to snatch a draw. I think
Bayelsa started like a house on fire. At a point they were leading the pack, 3 to 4 weeks, but their performance of recent has been slowed down, been unimpressive. I mean, Go Round quite formidable too. So it's not a surprise that they went to Bayelsa and got.
Yeah, that was the only.
Then also. Aqua Starlets and Ikorodu United. Ikorodu United have been also
both goalless draws.
Been poor, but going to Aqua Starlets to pick a draw is quite surprising when you consider the way they started. But I think their performance in the past 3 weeks has been quite impressive. It shows that they have improved tremendously. Then Heartland against AS Racine. You remember the weekend that Heartland beat My People. Crown of Ogbomoso played the following day. That was on a Sunday, and beat AS Racine. So you would have been tempted to think that Heartland could get something out of that game. Losing 2-1 did not do their promotion
aspirations any good.
And they lost Ebelobi, the elder brother of Mikel Obi. In the first half of that game, he pulled up a shoulder injury and had to be replaced. I think the goalkeeper that came in was quite jittery in the few minutes that was on the pitch, and maybe they will look at it and see how they can also add depth into the team. Because if you want to gain promotion, the journey is still far. You need a big squad so that in this instance, when something happened to Ebelobi, you also have somebody a good replacement to come in and do a good job.
Toby, we just talked about Southern Conference. There were actually 2 draws, but no away team was able to do something spectacular. Are we getting to that point where, getting something away becomes very, very difficult?
Yeah, it will get to that stage. Your quality will not come into play. Like Onya said, Bayelsa United at some point were like unbeaten in 3-4 games. We're cruising well. Go out have been hanging around, Crown have been dominating at home. But teams will also find it difficult as season get deep to get results away from home. Teams also at the bottom of the log like Korea United also want to fight for their life, and it's not going to be easy for you to go to the ground and get points. This is where a better, well-organized team with more quality will separate from those teams that are not really good enough to get promotion. But still a long days here. It will really get interesting, especially in the Southern Conference with a lot of teams with ambition to get promoted.
Okay, so we'll go on a quick break now. When we return, we'll show you what it looks like in the Southern Conference and in the Northern Conference. The teams that might likely do the job and probably gain promotion, and the teams that may go down. We'll go on that break and we'll be back for more on Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. In case you just joined us, well, you've missed quite a bit, but we'll do our best to compensate you with the minutes we have left on the show. We've talked about the Opopo Road Race. We've talked about Delta State, the Senior Athletics Championship. We've talked about the CAF Confederation Cup, and we just talked about the results over the weekend, the Nigerian National League. I say I have Toby Adepoju and Oyewuchi Nwachukwu with me in the house, and we are still on that trip across the money spinning world of sport. This is how it looks like on the table for the London Conference, and we just look at this and also consider what it looks like on the Southern Conference as well, in which we have more teams in the Southern Conference than in the North. So maybe we should just start with the Southern Conference, as you have on your screen. You have Delta Force leading the way. You have Delta Force leading the way, followed by Crown FC, Go Round, and Heartland. And at the bottom, you are having Warri Wolves, Ikorodu United, Papilo, and My People. I'm particularly worried about Warri Wolves and Ikorodu United, because you thought coming down from the top flights, you know, they probably should be up there if they have any ambitions of going back. But after 13 matches, this is what it looks like.
Well, they've been quite woeful. I mean, that's the position they deserve. Warri Wolves, Ikorodu United, Papilo, My People, they have dropped points at home and at away games, and they've not been able to, you know, gather points anywhere. So, I mean, you need points to still be on top of the table or be at the middle of the table. But since the season started, like you said, 13 games, My People have played 12 matches. They've not been able to gather enough points. They have about minus 11 goals difference, and you know, they've not been scoring. So this is terrible times for Ikorodu United. Really, you know, some of their best players, Kabiru left for Kano Pillars. They were not able to get capable replacements, and the NNL is tougher, very tough, very physically demanding. Julius Ubido told journalists that after one game that it's even tougher than the Premier League. You know, you have younger, fitter players, and you know, this is raw physical display. So you need a lot of depth, you need a lot of motivation, and you need very good players to be able to navigate your way out of here and get promotion.
All right, Toby, we skipped the Northern Conference because there'll be a lot of changes because of Afe Babalola's expulsion and all the games they've played and the ones they're here to play. So there'll be some changes in that one. Probably good, but let's talk about Afe Babalola, constant violations, and that decision had to be taken.
I mean, it is very sad, but very good. It happens early in the season, because most time in the NNL, most of this happen
they delay,
in the delay, and it brings a lot of disruption to the league. I mean, they've missed 3 games, and according to the rules, if you miss 3 games,
consecutively,
you stand expelled, and they have been expelled.
All the matches they've played, all the results people gained against them, everything null and void.
Will be null and void.
And matches involving them later on also will not be played.
Will not be played. So this is the whole table before the decision about some minutes ago. About currently after the point deduction, Accra United now top of Northern Conference with 16 points. Yobe Desert who defeated Afe Babalola.
This was before the decision. After it now Crown comes on top.
So Yobe now drops to 2nd position with 14 points. Kwara moves to 1st position with 16 points. So like I said, I mean, it is very sad to see such a thing happen in the NNL. I said it when the season begins that the most difficult job for the independent bodies to ensure that any team doesn't pull out, because when teams pull out, it ensures that the shape of the league is really disorganized. But it's also good that it happens after match day night, so to speak. So the body needs to work on this. I mean, FC Taraba also now have missed, I think, 1 or 2 games right now. So they are also working in that part to be expelled, and it is not really good for the structure of the league. Not good.
All right, so that's it. We'll probably show you that table much later, and the effect of that decision taken earlier today would really show in that one.